So now we're going to look at the bluerain server, its components and how they are configured. We're also going to look at the automated processes and how they are called, how they're configured, and how they log in their processes. So I'm going to sign into the Windows server, which is hosted on Amazon's web service. And I'm going to use remote desktop to log in. So I've logged in. So this is the remote desktop. And I'm logged into my server, which is a Windows Server 2012 R2. So on this server, we have the SQL database, which is 2016, MS SQL 2016, and we also have IIS and we have the Windows Task Scheduler. So I'm going to come back to this. So let's start with the databases. Okay, so here is the database server. So here are all the databases on this database server. So these are all databases for each school. So these are live databases and these are identical to the desktop app. So here I'm going to expand this so you can see the tables that are configured on this database. So here you can see all the tables here. They're identical to the ones on the database, the local database on the desktop app. So I'm going to quickly just open the students database so you can see how the type of data that is stored on there. So you can see the first name, the created date, the status, and everything. So this is a student database, and you can see all other tables here that make the bluerain software work. So I'm going to close this. So all these tables are identical in structure, so you can see. So these are actual school databases that are using the bluerain software. So on this database server, we also have the ASP.NET one, which holds the user accounts. So the administrative portal and the parents portal. So these holds the user accounts. And here we have the bluerain process databases. So here the bluerain process database holds tables that work hand in hand with the automated processes. So here, for instance, this one is the create org database task. So this is where the tasks to create an organization database is located. So here, if I open it, you see a couple of tasks. So this is a typical task to create this database with this following information. So here is the SQL statement that is being run, and here is the status column to say whether the task has completed, the completion date, the created date. So this is the creation, the created date of the task itself, and this is when it was completed. So similarly, you have other tasks too. Let me look for another one. So like this one, generate report card. So this is one that the system uses to generate online report card for a particular school. So like this one, this is for this particular organization, which is a school. This is the classroom, and this is the status column, whether it's completed or not. This is to specify whether to notify the administrator or not, and this is the creation date of this task, and this is the completion date. So this is a typical task table. So basically the minions are named according to the tasks. So these are this is the task scheduler. So this is where the tasks are created, and this is where it's called. It is scheduled. So as you can see for this create sync job, or let's just use this one for example. So create online user, you can see that it runs every day and it runs every 1 minute. So this correlates to the actual minion program. So these is where all the programs are. So you can see the names correlate to the Windows Task Scheduler here. So these are the minions. So I call them minions because they are little processes that perform different tasks. So still on the create online user, I'm just going to open this. So it's basically a .NET program. So I've created all these programs using C#, and it can be called upon by this Windows program to perform a specific task. So they go to the database and pick up particular task and they know exactly what to do. So for instance, this is to create report cards for this particular class. So each minion has a specific task to perform and they pick up the tasks on this table. So we are going to move to the IIS. So here is the IIS server. So this is where the website is being hosted. So the web app, sorry. So here we have the bluerain online, which we've seen. So this is where it runs. We have the bluerain portals, and here we have the FTP site. So the FTP site is where files are being dropped. So here is where the actual files are being dropped. So if a synchronization task is being triggered on the desktop app, it creates a file and it sends it to the FTP server. So the files will appear here and they're being picked up by the automated task, which is this one, processing jobs. So it creates a task on a table called sync table. So I'm going to open the table so you see what it looks like. Sync jobs. So this is the database server and that's the table. So you can see how the typical tasks are. So you can see these ones that we ran recently. So you have the org, you have the status, you have the start time, end time, the processor that processed it. We have the identification number there, of the file name, the file timestamp, the file drop time, the job error column. We have modified date, create date, and process. So this is the synchronization table. Also, each of these minion, they log in their process logs. So as they perform different tasks, they log in their activities, and if it errors, it specifies if it's just a normal login or an error. So as you can see on this one, we're going to check, we're looking into the email report cards. So this task is meant to email each report card to a parent using the specified email address. So if I run this, you see the process logs. For the email report cards, it hasn't been run in quite some time, so you can see there's no task for it to process. So it begins, it checks the list of tasks. There's no available task, so it ends the process. It checks again, so it keeps on checking until it finds the task listed on the tasks table, which is this one. So it checks that table for any available task. If there's no task, it ends the process. It starts again. So every minute it keeps checking. So let's check on something that has a little bit of data on there. Let me see. Let's try this one. So let's run this. So this is the SMS delivery report. So basically this fetches the SMS delivery report, which states whether a particular SMS that was sent was delivered, whether it's failed, whether it's been blocked for a particular reason. So as you can see, this is a process log. So you can see all this information about this particular minion. So you can see it's logging in the activities as they happen. So this helps for when we're troubleshooting a particular issue pertaining to a particular minion. So you can see how it's being detailed here. The log, the timestamp is being stated here. So this is bluerain web server in a nutshell. So you can we've seen the database server and all the tables in there. We've seen the minions, the actual programs that are being called, which are basically little programs created with WinForms C#, and we've seen the task scheduler, which is scheduled to call these little programs at specific times of the day. And we've also seen the IIS server, which holds the web app, and the FTP server, where the files are being dropped. Oh, the FTP server too also holds backups being sent from the desktop. So if we check here, so if I open this, this is a backup that was submitted by a particular school. So that's the FTP server also does that too as well. Yeah. So this is the bluerain web server architecture. Thank you.